Hey guys, Scott Foley here. I'm a session guitar and pedal steel player, and in this video I'm going to tell you all you need to know about the Gamechanger Audio light pedal. What is the light pedal? Well, it's a Spring Reverb pedal with real springs and also these really cool optical sounds as well. So basically, Spring Reverb, you know, cool old sound in a pedal size format. Now traditionally Spring Reverbs of course were built into amplifiers and also separate Spring Reverbs. I have a couple of old vintage Spring Reverb units, a Fender one which is a tube driven one, but this is really great that you can put it in a pedal and potentially attach it to your pedal board. If you're new to this channel, I would love it if you consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, ring that bell icon and it will let you know when I release new videos, which I do every single week. Let's take a deeper look at it. The light pedal has 3 springs built into the pedal and a variety of sensors that drop light across the springs to create these really interesting modulation effects, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. The first, I would say, problem, but it's not a problem as such, it's just something you need to be aware of when you play this pedal, or if you were to buy this pedal, is this. It is a real Spring Reverb with the same problems that amps have had for years. If you play an unstable stage or you stamp on the pedal a bit too much, then you will hear these artifacts, these the springs rattling around. Now, is that a problem? It may not be for some, it may be for others. That's just the way it is. If you don't want that, then arguably buy another reverb pedal that does it digitally and you don't have the real thing. But this does have a variety of really traditional Spring Reverb sounds and some more creative sounds too. The pedal has an input and output, is powered by a traditional 9-volt DC Boss style adapter, and also has an expression input for expression pedal to control different functions of the pedal. Now before we carry on, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the rig I'm using today. I've got my Whitfield Telecaster plugged into the light pedal and then into a Fender Super 210 amp mic'd up with a Royer R121. Sounds like this. Just a really straightforward clean tone so we can hear what the reverb's doing. Now let's have a look at the controls. We have 3 different volume controls, one for the dry signal, one for the Spring Reverb, and one for the optical reverb. And you can blend those together in any kind of variety that you want. So if I just dial a little tone in here, perhaps we want some more reverb, turn the dry signal down. And the pedal also has a tone control which affects both reverb sources. So if I turn the tone all the way up, you'll hear a nice bright reverb. Turn the tone down, hear a much darker sound. The pedal has a couple of switches, and I'm going to show you how they work. First of all, we've got the tail switch. And the tail switch, when turned on, allows you to mute the pedal, and you'll hear the reverb tail. So, if I turn that tail switch off, and I mute the pedal, it kills the reverb. Next up, we have the latch switch. The latch switch controls the function of the main on-off switch. Is it a latching foot switch or a temporary foot switch? Currently, I've got the latch on, so when we turn the pedal on, it stays on, and then I would have to mute it with my foot. So, if I turn the latch switch off, what that means is when I depress the pedal, you'll see it's only a temporary setting. So that allows you to create a number of different really interesting effects with this pedal. Next up, we have the drive control. The drive control controls the amount of signal being sent to the springs. So currently I've got the drive off. You'll hear there's no reverb at all because there's no signal being sent into the springs. It's probably normal at about 12 o'clock. And then if I turn it past 12 o'clock, it will start to overdrive through the springs. So if I turn it all the way up, you'll hear we get kind of distorted reverbs. If I turn the dry signal off, this really cool driven sound. Next up we have the gate control, and that does different things depending on where the control is set. So currently it's at 12 o'clock, so it doesn't really do a lot. To turn that left, it's going to create a gated reverb. So when I stop playing, the reverb stops too. So you hear the reverb is still going when I'm playing. As soon as I stop, the reverb stops. And we can adjust the amount of that. As we turn the gate control to the right, it's going to create a ducking reverb, meaning that when I play, it's going to turn down the reverb level. So if I turn that all the way up, so I'm playing, you can't hear any reverb. As I stop, the reverb comes up. That's really useful depending on what style of music you're playing. Sometimes you want the reverb to duck away when you're playing. Next up, we're going to take a look at the 6 different effects modes built into the light pedal. First of all, we have the optics mode. The optics mode allows you to choose the combination of optical sensors used within the pedal. And I'm going to show you how it works just by adjusting the control on the pedal. So you can see all sorts of different bits of the pedal are being used, the different parts of the spring and the optical parts. So right at the top of the pedal sounds like this. As I move that control up, see that's the middle. Creates a slightly different sound. Bottom of the spring. Different sound again. And then you can just access different parts of the spring. Obviously, the more sensors you have on, the bigger the reverb. Next up, we have the sweep mode. The sweep mode is a modulation mode that rhythmically scrolls back and forth along the spring. And the optical sensors then pick that up. So you can see currently we have it on a fairly slow setting. I'll turn the dry signal all the way off for this. And then as I start to speed that up, it creates almost like a pitch vibrato sound. Or a bit like a weird kind of Leslie type sound. Now next up we have the tremolo mode. The tremolo mode turns on and off the optical sensors in a rhythmic way to create a tremolo effect. And we can adjust the speed of the tremolo with the control function here. So it goes really quick too. So we're going to get it down to a medium setting. So cool to be able to do tremolo within a reverb pedal. Next is the reflect setting. Now the reflect setting is essentially a lo-fi delay type sound created by sending the original signal back into the reverb tank several times over. So you can see, it will show you all about this. That's the great thing about this graphic side of this pedal, is it's really interesting to watch what it does. So you can see there it's sending the signal back in across the reverb unit, and of course we can change the time, so we can create almost like a faster thing. In the demo I did earlier, you can hear me using it on a slower type sound. So next up I'm going to move into the feedback mode. What this does is it sends the reverb tank into self-oscillation. You can hear there's loads of creative options of what you can do with this, and it's going to sustain and feedback all the way. I'm just going to turn the pedal off. You can use this really interestingly with an expression pedal as well and control the amount of the feedback signal and create some really interesting textures. Finally, we have the harmonic mode, and you can think of this as a kind of natural shimmer reverb. The pedal has a special circuit into it where it adds harmonics into the reverb to create this really interesting layered harmonic sound. So this is with the control knob all the way down. As I turn that, you can hear there's some kind of interesting effects built onto that. If I turn the control up, you'll hear it gets brighter and more top pitch, so high pitch sound. It's just such a really interesting sound. It can be combined really well with the dry signal too. Turn that control all the way up. I hope you found this video useful, guys. If you have, I would love it if you'd like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell icon so it will let you know when I release new videos, which I do every single week. I'd like to thank the Pedal Club for making this video be a possibility, and I'll see you next time.